3, 2, 1.
Did you hear about the new God of War game? Apparently, I haven't played it yet, but I hear that it's phenomenal. You know where you can get it? GreenManGaming.com. In fact, you can get it for 10% off, which knocks a couple dollars off of the price tag, which is awesome. Head down to the description below and buy that thing. Hello, audience! Today here, Dr. Stronenberg went out back to take a smoke. Because this is absolutely a non-smoking zone. We build these fully fueled. So, we're still prototyping putting the Munshot system on top of a Eagle Heavy, but in the meantime, we have another launch. We have another series of launches that I need to get out of the way, which is the mass relay system. No, it is not a bunch of weird mass acceleration cannons to propel starships to other parts of the galaxy. I'm talking these things. The plan is to place at least one of them around every planet. And I haven't even decided which one to start with. Probably Kerbin or Duna or something close. Honestly, not entirely sure. Anyway, this thing's pretty much ready to go, so we could get this off the ground, like, now, actually. I've taken the Deep Space Probe launcher and given it sort of an upgrade, heavy modifications, additional solar power, more battery life, just anything to keep the relay operational, honestly. Anyway, I just need to double check the engines and then we can get off the ground. So and there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Yeah, that's every engine. But the shroud only deploys when I tell it to. Once we hit vacuum, we deploy the shroud. Because I figured it out. We need the shroud to fall back to Kerbin and burn up in its atmosphere so that we minimize the space debris. Alright. Let's launch this sucker. Oh my god, that never gets old. Just the sheer power of this rocket never gets old. I recently did the math. By Kerbin equivalent, this thing is about 4.9 times as powerful as a Saturn V rocket. We're using this to carry the really heavy probes into space. I mean the biggest, heaviest, and most powerful stuff. Oh. This thing's second stage is a Rhino. Let that sink in. Yeah. We could outfit the top with an even more powerful... Oh, made some modifications as well. I took out all of the oxidizer because this thing is only running on atomic rocket motors. So, logically, there's no reason to keep those. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Current apoapsis brings us not even out of the atmosphere. Just regular check-ins. I'm thinking that we'll add another fuel tank around this size to the middle section. We call it the Eagle Ultra Heavy, because it could go further and carry more. We'd have to put some solid rocket boosters on it to get it moving, though. I think this is good enough. At least for now. Once we're out of atmosphere, we'll deploy the shroud. Hopefully that won't interfere with the actual rocket. Like all of the debris coming out and smacking into it. Okay, we're in vacuum. Good. Now, let's determine a decent parking orbit for this thing. Let's get this thing's gimbals moving. Give it some curvature. I think I just sent it the wrong way. Oh well. Give it some curvature. I do believe a decent parking orbit for this would be halfway between the Mun and Kerbin. Keep turning. Keep up the gravity turn. Don't mind the wibbly-wobbly shroud. I'm gonna have to put on some reinforcements for that as well. Let's see, halfway is about... well, it's coming up. Excellent. Now we'll just wait for apoapsis. Easy now. Easy. We'll use that main engine for as long as we can, then we'll rely on the second stage propulsion. Okay, good, good, good. Stop it right there. Right there. Okay, good. Alright. We can let the reaction wheels deal with it now. Easy now. This thing doesn't really have reaction wheels. Most of the reaction wheels are on stage 2. Alright. And we'll hit apoapsis. We can burn now. We're not looking for total perfection. Alright. Start burning. That's a nice orbit right there. And the good news is I think all the debris is going to fall back to Kerbin. Let me see. I think it's just barely in the atmosphere, so we're probably good. Alright. Amos prograde. Use the RCS systems if you have to. Wait, what happened? Oh, right. Deploy the solar panels. Solar panels. Panels. Hello? Probe. Alright, stand by. We were still in time warp. My bad. Let's extend the solar panel so that this thing doesn't run out of power. I thought it was out of power and we'd have to launch the whole thing again. That would have been bad. Fire the engine. our second stage engine. Let's just see how good of an orbit we could get this thing in before we rename it to the Kerbin Relay. That's good. Good. Alright, nice. Very good. And that second liquid fuel engine still has a ridiculous amount of propulsion left on board, so we'll activate some solar panels. Now pointed at the sun. Someone's hammering nails in behind me. Go ahead and point it at the sun. Hopefully we could use this as a relay for Telescopicus Metallicus. And stop. Stop it. Stop spinning. Stop spinning. Do not make me activate. Alright. Whatever. Just start extending all the equipment that we have on board. Extend. Extension. Extending. Still extending. And still extending. Extending more. And more. And more. Alright. Relay is in place. Now I just need to rename this thing to the Kerbin Relay. Okay. Done. Alright. There's a couple other things we need to do. Okay, so the plan is to make this top module more energy efficient. And by energy, I mean fuel. I'm thinking of installing a service module on board that will allow us to, basically just fill with fuel tanks and then off we go. Because right now, there's liquid fuel, but we don't need this oxidizer. What ideally, I'd like to fill the oxidizer tank with liquid fuel so that we could just double the efficiency and then we get on with our lives. Unfortunately, that is not a mechanic that is in the game yet. Still waiting on it. Maybe we can find something in the, yeah, here we go. Liquid fuel fuselages. Let's see if we have anything wide enough. Take the solar panels off, take the batteries off, take the antennas off, the radiators, the mechanical jeb. That thing. Alright. I'm gonna remove this. We're gonna... Here, hold on. Gonna remove that, and we're gonna move the struts down lower. 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 Okay, I see what's going on. Just leave the struts there for now. Do we have any large fuselages that can... Alright, actually, how about this? That's 400 liquid fuel in that one. And we were just working with this one, which is 700. Alright, alright. Okay. What if we do this? Where is the structural? What if we take a TVR 4 stacker, plunk it down there, just put 4 inside, strut it all together, link it all together with fuel lines, and then launch that. See how energy efficient we can be with that. Let me do the math real quick. So, 400 liters of liquid fuel and a mass of 2 and a cost of 320 compared to a mass of 3.6. Honestly, these are going to be heavier. You sure we don't have something larger? Well, there's this. It carries ridiculous amounts of liquid fuel. We don't need that, though. We just need the liquid fuel, not the oxidizer. And the only thing that solely carries liquid fuel are these stupid fuselages for planes and crap like that. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do a launch flight test thing and everything for it. Alright. Let's get the solar panels back on. I'm thinking that they'll have to go like that. Or not. What? Ugh. Okay, put them on the bottom. You know, just to make things easier for me. We'll flip this up. Put that there. The radiators. We'll minimize the amount of radiators on board. Put that there. Batteries. We have the giant battery up top, so we'll put those, like, off to the sides. Or better yet, we could probably put them up on top of the ASS unit, the ASAS unit. Here. Subtract 1 battery from the overall design. We'll put that down there. Honestly, the probe just got a hell of a lot bigger, but we'll see what happens. I'll put struts on it. And then we'll get some fuel lines linked into each of them so that they're all connected. Everything is connected. And then we'll launch the bastard. We'll aim for Duna on this next outing. The Duna relay. Just let me get this together and we'll move on to the launch. All right, we're back. We got today's launch will be all right, this is all mixed up for some reason yet again. Why though? Alright, let me see here. Those two need to go together and they launch after that, after all this. Alright, and now for whatever reason the tiny engines are being separated along with the side boosters. I don't know why. That entire top section needs to be alright, so engines fire, then the thing lets go. Those separate. Main second stage engine. Third stage. Then the payload stage. Alright. Everything should be fine now. What's our trajectory? We're aiming for Duna today, so... yeah, we're gonna wanna launch at around dawn. Let's go for dawn. Here we go. That'll send us hurtling off in this direction even faster. Ever so slightly faster. Very slightly. Alright. Throttle up. And let's begin. Oh, you gotta love those engines. Those daggone powerful engines. Doggone powerful engines. Anyway, I made a couple of upgrades. This upper stage now has a probe module that will allow it to fly itself away from the main payload when we're done with it. Like in case we put it in orbit around a moon or something and this thing still has fuel left, we could get it away. I also reinforced the middle section here, and the top section has been reinforced, very heavily reinforced. Some incredibly heavy reinforcement going on. The Eagle Heavy. God, that looks cool. Like the sun is just sitting there. That is awesome. Alright, we're gonna be out of second stage fuel here in just a second, so... yeah, I think this thing might want to hurry up. Any second now. God, I love that. It's a beautiful rocket. Beautiful. I'm thinking we could take the fins off at some point, though. Because those are mainly just for atmospheric control. And let's be honest, we're not in the atmosphere a lot. And we are out of atmo. Deploy the shroud. Relay is clear. So we were getting 720 fuel out of the last fuel tank. Each of these is 400. We basically just doubled the fuel capacity of the payload engine. We also put the radiators on board to keep those engines cool. So everything should be wonderful for as long as we can possibly muster. It should stop gaining altitude in just a second. You know, if you just put bugger off massive parachutes on board the Falcon Heavy boosters, then everything would have been fine. Elon, just saying, Elon. We're nearly out of fuel here, but as we've seen before, this should get us out of the Kerbin system. Or I don't know. This is a somewhat heavier payload, or maybe not. Never mind. We're on escape velocity. Just let the engine burn out. Burn for a couple seconds and then shut down. You know, just so we're away from that thing. Alright, now, set Duna as the target. Also, now that we're in a vacuum, we'll be losing power, so... let's open up some solar arrays. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Now that the relay is bound for interplanetary space, we can get this thing out of the Kerbin system. Yeah, we'll eventually lose the main engine back there. Alright. Now that we're here, we need to do a transfer to target. Maneuver planner. Transfer to another planet. At next transfer window. Error occurred. Can you create the node at least? Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, I'll tell you what. I'll do it myself. If we aim prograde here, we'd be closing the distance quite a bit. At that point, we'd have to burn for an incredulously long amount of time. Incredulously long amount of time? What's that burn duration? 59 seconds. And there's a very small margin of error. But the intercept would be plausible. It is possible that we can pull this off. We'd have to burn for a full minute. We're on a full tank of gas here, so that's not an issue, but... well, one of my main concerns is actually the liquid fuel fuselage limit. Like, how much maneuvering, how much are our maneuvering thrusters going to be able to do once we get there? Good news is our transfer window is in less than a year. Duna is on a very, 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 very slightly inclined orbit. And I do mean very slight. For some reason, we're aligned with it almost perfectly. Moho would have been a problem. Alright. 80 days from now. Around the sun in 80 days. Woo! Man. We really managed to ditch those Eagle Heavy pieces of equipment. 8 days. 7 days. 6 days. 5 days. 4 days. Once it gets down to 2, I'm lowering this by another margin. 3 days. 2 days. 1 hour. We don't want to miss our window by even a fraction of a second. Oh, give me the smartass. We'll get it to aim at the target once we're there. So it's 1 day, and for whatever reason, 1 day goes for 6 hours. Not sure what that's about, but okay. 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and cut it down even more. I keep cutting down the time acceleration so that we hit it, like, right on the mark. "20 minutes. 15 minutes. 10 minutes. 7 minutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 minutes. Okay. 1 minute. Under a minute. Alright, time to aim target bound. Give it some RCS. And I just realized the top stage does not have RCS control. It will be solely dependent on its SAS unit. Well, that's a design flaw for the next one. Whatever these things are called. Mass relays. Because they're massive and they're relays. Alright. What's the node time here? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burn! Alright, something's wrong. Did you aim correctly? I don't think it did. Great. Estimated burn is now extended by a full 4 seconds. Push comes to shove, we can use the atomic rocket motors to the best of our ability. Here we go. Try this one. And open fire! It has to burn for a full minute. Whether or not we have that kind of fuel capacity, I don't know. Just keep burning the engine. I don't know if we have the fuel for this. Another 30 seconds. The moment we have intercept, I will cut the engine. Honestly, we probably could have moved this transfer window somewhere else and it would have been more efficient. Wait, what the hell is going on? Cut the engine. Why are we drifting out of the thing? Estimated burn is still about 3 minutes. I got an idea. Aim as prograde. Maybe that's what it was aiming at. But yeah, that's right. I set the node so that if we aim prograde, we would eventually hit the planet. Alright, fire the engine. Alright, yeah, that's coming in better. But shut it down now, because we can't use this node. We'll try again at apoapsises. Wait, hold on. Target at closest approach is... What about here at our ascending node? Add a maneuver. If we burn there for just just a couple of seconds, we get an intercept. But the window is incredibly small. It would save us fuel. No denying that. And we could probably burn wherever we so desire, honestly. 4 days. 3 days. 2 days. 1 day. Alright. I got an idea here. We could probably burn a couple hours early on this one. We have a ridiculous amount of RCS, so... just do this. Burn through our RCS maneuvering fuel. Just make sure we don't get too low. We're at 720. We've used 30. Oh my god. And that's like total. So yeah, we'll just use our RCS maneuvering to conserve fuel, because we're gonna need the bulk of our fuel in order to slow down. Like, even though the Rhino looks huge, it's not a very powerful engine. I do believe we have intercept. Let's just get it within 1 meter per second. Just get it within 1 meter. Maybe even lower. Wow, we actually managed to break 700. 5, 4, 3, 2, 0.1. And that is the closest to perfect we can ever get. Open up these solar panels now since we're on our side. We don't need every single solar panel open while we're transferring to the planet that this thing needs to be at. We should have intercept in about 2 years on it. About 2 years. Just about 2 years. Alright, so about midway through this cruise, we turned the thing off. Let's see how we did. Yeah, we have intercept. We have Duna encounter. We'll start being affected by its gravity. Alright. Well, we're in this for another long haul. Much like when we sent our deep space probe to Joule. This could take a while.
4, 3, 2, 1. Earth below us, drifting, falling, floating.
Well, what else is Mission Control supposed to do? They have to wait for this thing to get to the planet. Alright, we're finally coming up on our intercept with the red planet system. We're probably gonna park this somewhere maybe outside the orbit of Dres? Is Dres the moon here? I don't remember. All I remember is that it's super easy to get an encounter with the moon around Duna. I've been here a couple of times, and every time I almost got pulled in by its gravity. Easy. Okay, there we are. We should be able to see the poor thing. And no, it's Ike. Sorry about that. I forgot the name of the moon. It's super easy to get an encounter with Ike. Amos retrograde. Yeah, there it is. Way over there, the tiny dot. You can also barely make out the moon. Alright, we're gonna burn this for as long as we can. See how slow it can make us. When that line starts to bend, we know we're doing it right. God, we're gonna have to go slow in order to get in orbit around this thing. We have burnout. Okay. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Oh boy. And fire our atomic rocket motors. Both of them! Thank you. We're good. They're not very powerful, but I think they'll get us into an orbit. Fuel consumption looks remarkable. I don't know how slow we need to be going here, but we're already going incredibly slow. The line's finally starting to bend ever so slightly. We'll have intercept in, hopefully a couple of seconds here. Okay, yes. These Mark I fuel fuselages were a good idea. Like, a really, really good idea. Best idea I've ever had. Alright, let's watch the Ike encounter. Because you know what's gonna happen. It is super easy to get an encounter with Ike. There it is! There's the Ike encounter. That'll be our periaps halfway between Duna and Ike. We are going 28.8 meters per second at our apoapsis. It'll be 24 days to our periapsy. In that time, Ike will have spun around 50,000 times. Alright, now we need to aim retrograde again. Thankfully, this probe is now small enough that reaction wheels are going to be effective. There's Ike. There's Duna. Hey! Fire up the engine. Slow us down. Oh my god, that fuel efficiency. Oh, we hit the nail right on the head with this one. And we have another Ike encounter. We'll probably get another one. Or not. Never mind. Never mind, then. That's almost perfect. Head over to the apoapse and see if we can raise our periaps ever so slightly. prograde. We're just gonna position this to be as perfect as we possibly can. Very nice, very good orbit. Alright, extend all of the paneling now. We have over half our fuel remaining on this probe. Next time I'm gonna have to do some calculations. You know, just to make sure we don't run out again. Or, like, have an excessive amount again. Because, like, last time we were carrying oxidizer and everything, and, it was awful. But this is good, yes! Alright, that's 2 of our mass relays in place. This will be the Duna mass relay. It will, let me see, Duna mass relay. Duna relay. The Duna mass relay. Good. Infrastructure in place. Thanks for watching, guys! And I will see you in the next video. How do these things work? Transmit data. Is that doing it? I'm gonna assume it's doing it.
Everybody wants to be an astronaut and take the long tall trail into the stars. Everybody wants to show a part of what they got. Everybody wants to be an astronaut. Hey!
Clearly this is what we're picking up.